Welcome back, one and all, to Dreamworks Dungeons and Dragons. I'm your Dungeon Master, August Schmidt. I'm so excited. We have the Union with us, as always, in no particular order, just because how you're popping up on my screen. We have, of course, Shane as Megamind, the inventor. We have Braxton as RJ, the raccoon, and Alicia as Jim Lake Jr., the troll hunter. And of course, Elle as Puss in Boots will be joining us in just a second as they're dealing with some stuff on their end. Technologically speaking too, even though it's not computer tech. But indeed, last we saw the Union, you guys having worked with Merlin and with Gabriel and with Blinky, setting up a time and place to find the Enochian amulets, ways to keep you off the charts from any angels or devils that you guys may encounter. Indeed, as you proven when you got back from time, Gabriel quite literally can't see or hear you. It is a very intense thing that's going on here. But of course, it doesn't come for free, as you'll notice with Enochian amulets. To get the full effect of them, you do have to be attuned to them. The attunement is what gives you the complete basic invisibility, one might call it, from scrying, detection, sight, sound. You can still wear one and it will still give you good buffs. For example, advantage against being possessed and other saves of similar nature. But that perfect, like, no one can see me does require the attunement slot, as D&D kind of balances that. But of course, returning from Mordred Manor, no time has passed, if anything like 3 or 4 seconds from when you guys came and left. Merlin and Gabriel are heading off to immediately basically body snatch the other parties and say, hey, here's the quick skinny go. Because again, the longer they wait, the more chance some angel or demon gets wise and comes after them. But as we begin, because indeed, as all the other parties had a chance to get their Enochian amulets, we're going to go around and make some D100 rolls. As one party member did something, as we kind of discussed, to alter the timeline a bit. Nothing that should be crazy, but here we go.
Unless you roll bad.
I want something to happen.
Unless you roll really bad. Here's what we'll say. Whoever wants to go first, go ahead and roll me a D100 and let me know what you get.
63.
63. RJ, nothing has changed in your timeline. Everything seems completely fine.
What's the point?
74.
74. Jim Lake Jr., you are on the threshold, my friend. Nothing major has happened.
That's good.
You are on the threshold, though. Megamind, what did you get?
I'm rolling.
Rolling right now. Perfect. Right.
42.
42. And Megamind, indeed, nothing has changed in your canon or timeline
either.
To give you a little bit of example, one party member has already done a roll because of timeline. And for example, it is stuff that's right now, although I say a major shift, it's they had pink hair that they dyed brunette to avoid suspicion and like while they were sneaking through a town, and the timeline changed where now that city didn't have any brunette hair dye and now they're a platinum blonde instead. It's that levels of like changes where it could be cosmetic all the way up to one character had a bit of a level change around where they were 4-level cleric instead of 5-level cleric, and 3-level bard instead of 2-level bard. So like the major changes can range, but very much things that still thankfully aren't affecting big day-to-day stuff. Elle, you're here. So excited to see ya.
Roll a D100.
We need you to roll a D100, Puss in Boots.
No explanation, just roll.
No explanation. We're not even joking. You do have to roll a D100.
Okay. I'm scared.
You don't want close to 100.
You probably should be.
You don't, yeah. Upwards of the 100 is where things will start happening.
Did you get an 100?
No, I'm pulling it up right now.
Ah,
I
perfect.
just
Oh, right,
barely
right.
able to pull up Discord. Give me a second.
Also, just so people are aware, since we leveled up, I have another aura that's going to affect you guys. If you are within 10 feet of me, you cannot be magically detected.
Nice.
Ooh.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
So
level
that's-
up my character and play really good.
Yeah, you're good.
Did you forget last time?
What? No, I remembered we leveled up. I haven't had time to level up,
I feel
but
that.
I know we're level 7.
I now have spells of mass destruction.
I was gonna say, for Megamind and RJ, you guys have some grody spells now that we're getting into level 7. Here we go, Puss in Boots. I see the
Whoa.
dice rolling right now.
Okay, use the
roll?
lower number. We're fine.
Yep.
42.
Somebody F with the timeline.
42. Puss in Boots, fun fact, that's exactly what Megamind got too.
Yeah.
Really?
I've heard it's an answer to something.
It's an answer to something.
I don't remember why.
Yeah. Yes, there's something.
Puss in Boots, indeed, this was a roll because one party member, on accident, they didn't realize this, in one of the parties, back in time at Mordred Manor, did do something that changed the timeline. It is what, according to my rolling table, is quantified as a major change based on how they did it and what I rolled for. But major change doesn't, thankfully, affect too many people. That's why we have these rolls to see if, for example, something occurred. But right now, all of you are fine. You have appeared back in Troll Market. What was that, Puss?
I kind of want to know what the change is, Eleanor. I want to know who did what.
As the changes, you'll start noticing little things. For example, after some time, Merlin and Gabriel have left. Blinky and Arg are here, kind of like as you guys have leveled up and like now like attuning to your amulets, like taking this moment of like before we head out, like recuperating. After only like an hour, again, short rest time, Merlin and Gabriel return. And Jim Lake Jr., you get the slightest bit of headache. Merlin is wearing blue armor instead of green.
Weird, okay.
As slight cosmetic changes to the timeline have happened, Merlin shows back up, and you see he kind of looks at you guys. All right, we've got the amulets. Everyone's okay. We may have changed time, but don't worry. I think everyone's okay now.
You're blue
Your
now.
armor is different.
Yes, you have told me this, but of course, I don't think it is different. I always wanted it blue. What was it before?
Green.
Green.
The master staff.
Ah!
Staff blue.
You see, Paul's staff, his staff is green, but his armor's blue.
Yeah, you're...
Honestly, if you went with the green, it would work. It
Yes,
could make it
but
work.
I remember distinctly I went with blue because upon creation of my armor, I had that thought that so much was happening that day in court, and I went, I want something soothing. I need a soothing color to really, like, balance me out that day.
Fair enough. I mean, blue's kind of your thing. We match now, so that's cool.
We do match! You see Merlin kind of, like, does that, like, armor to armor show. Indeed, I had to roll for every major NPC, as well, and one of Merlin's things is his armor's now blue. It's, again, slight change, but that's what happens with time. I should say, there is one major change. A party member now has, from one of the parties, a sister they didn't know about, or that they did know about, but, like, it was enough. They got a pretty major change, but, again, nothing that, like, ruins that or affects the world as a whole. Again, Merlin shows up. Gabriel doesn't stick around because, again, he has things to do. But you see Merlin now turning to you all, and you see Merlin also now has a amulet. Another party grabbed a couple extra just because they did wildly well, and they were like, hey, we might be able to get some just in case these get broken or lost for, the champions as a whole. Merlin is now here with you guys. You see he's like, excellent. We have our ways of remaining hidden now from the watchful eye. What's next? And he kind of looks at the four of you in that, like, I did my part almost like.
How do we attune to these?
See, Merlin goes, yes, attuning. He will explain attunement. It takes the equivalency of only about 5 minutes. Does cost the attunement slot, of course. So if you only have 2 or 3, so it might fill you up. But you see, Merlin will explain attuning to these is as simple as taking 5 minutes, and you basically have to reveal who you are to the amulet, if that makes sense. So Merlin shows he has to say his full name in this old, ancient, common tongue, long dead. A lot of it's the more you give to yourself, you realize then Merlin's amulet seems to shift and almost colorize with him as that part of it is now something that this holds the part of me that then will protect magic for people looking for Merlin, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Where do we find our attunement slots in the D&D Beyond?
Attunement slots, it should be in your inventories, and it should just scroll to the bottom.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, the amulet should have a thing where, unless you're already full, they should auto-attune when you equip them, just because that's, excuse me, I think it only doesn't do it if you're full on slots, because it's that, like, because I think D&D Beyond doesn't like to, like, do that, because what if it accidentally unattunes you from something you really wanted? And again, you don't have to even have them attuned if you want the full protection, because again, Jim, one of your auras now does keep that non-magical divination detection on you. It's a really solid aura you've got, which will probably help people around you.
The less games, though, which is what we really need right now. So.
Yeah.
Well, we could take a second to do that attuning. But we also were told that your friends are right on the cusp of starting a fight with a bunch of whatever they're called, gum-gums.
Gum-gums, yeah.
So I don't know if we have to like sit still or if we can like attune and walk or.
You guys are back in Troll Market. You have, as long as you plan it out, you have the invisible car back in Troll Market. Where you could ride out with it if you want to ride out, because that would leave like just you and make mind. I think you're right. You can attune on the go. This is an item of like, oh dang, it takes like a full unbroken long rest to attune.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to navigate that camp of gum-gums again, though.
They also did say that there was just like a little latch, because we went out to the school using a latch, and then we didn't. Did we go back to Troll Market?
Mm-hmm. Yes, because that was like it's a safe place where we can go back in time just in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, so I think we might just leave the car here until we like really just need to like get out of town, because I think we don't really need to go super far.
Yeah, and I really don't want our friends to get eaten.
Your friends.
So we can attune on the way. And how did the time adventure screw with our everything? Did we come back the way we were before?
You did,
or are we
the way you were
as
before.
damaged? Okay.
Yes.
Because I don't remember how many spell slots I had or like what hit points I was at.
It is the equivalency of you can take a long rest is what I'll allow, is because if we're talking the like actual mechanics of it, technically when you were back in time, your bodies had full rested, and yeah, they got hurt and different damages back in time. That was in time. You naturally healed over time. And so like you can have a long rest on you right now from what Merlin was able to accomplish.
I probably could have done better spells then, because I went into that being like, some of my spells are already taken because I used them before we went back.
We increase our level to our max hit points automatically?
Did yours not?
I don't know. Got to look.
Yes, Jim, I believe yours did increase. You're now at a max of 59 hit points. Didn't raise a ton, but still enough.
I couldn't tell if it had raised it or not. I forgot to look before I did it. Thank you.
No, you're totally good. Yeah, just because, like, I have, like, my notes, and so it's pretty easy for me to be like, oh, yeah, because this is what they were at such and such levels. Cool. You guys then indeed can head off to go help your friends, Jim. Interesting to note, because of what you've accomplished, Merlin will be able to go with you now. And Merlin now, though pretty low still on spell slots from his whole day of, because again, he gave a lot of, or basically all his low levels until you guys had the amulets, but he did spend a couple of his 9th and 8th levels to do that chronomantic energies. But he can now come assist. Here's what I'll ask. Do you wish Blinky and Arg to join you?
I'll invite them, but I don't want to force them because this is kind of a dangerous territory for them to be in. They're not exactly stealthy.
Gotcha. In which case, they will remain in reserve. They'll come with you, like, to the tunnel system, like, in case of emergency, if that makes. So that way, like, if things go really bad, you could probably send off a quick message or sending, and they can be there within a round. Like, but maybe not, like, out and about.
Yep.
As you guys then head back to the manhole cover leading back into Arcadia itself, Blinky will help use the rock drawing the circle, opening up the cover to allow you all entrance to the outside world. Again, having just come from a land where the sun was setting and the actual moon, not red, but like pale yellow in the sky, it's odd to now come back to a world where everything is in an unnatural, darkened, dim state because of what Morgana's doing, and even the moon that tries it might to hang outside is blood red. It's an odd world to step into right now in Dremor. But you all are able to start passing through streets of Arcadia. If you are heading over to where Claire and Toby are, northward, more of the what we would call business district of Arcadia, please go ahead and give me either a group stealth check, or if you don't want to stealth, tell me what kind of like check you would rather make to try to like either get there fast or quiet.
I'd love an athletics check over a stealth check, personally.
Sure. So
I had talked about a trace.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
If you want to, RJ, yeah, because that could help buff everyone for a more like we can go much easier. If you do athletics, Jim, I would say you'd probably get there first, just not quietly, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Do you guys have an idea as to which one of those two things would be better?
What's your bonus to stealth?
2.
So you get a plus 12.
So you're passing without a trace?
Yeah.
Awesome sauce.
In which case, that leaves Puss in Boots. That's a 33. Yeah.
Oh! Okay, that was a 7. I thought it was a 1.
So it
becomes
what's that?
21.
36.
36, 33.
I got a nat 20.
Hey, so Megamind, you are making the most of this pass out of trace. It is pitch black. RJ is using those druidic magics, and you are just gone, my friend.
I quite attune to that amulet. You guys can't
RJ.
really protect me.
Can I stamina point that?
What I'll do is this, something I like doing with that one's, it works for now at the cost of something later, RJ. Because that's...
I got an 18.
18 stealth on the nat 1. That's still a
bonus plus 17.
That's wildly impressive, my guy. Is on a nat 1, it's still an 18. Meaning...
So we had a natural 20 and a natural 1. Those cancel out.
Hey, yeah, exactly, right? I mean, RJ, every 5 months... I think, RJ, the nat 1 is because, oh, good, I have my Pringle can of holding back. I've got my... You're just, like, so happy to, like, have your stuff back. Indeed, all of you are...
going through everything to make sure it's still there.
Oh, good, my rubber nose. Oh, good, my saxophone. Like, playing anything and everything. Yes, indeed.
Oh, good, this 3-month-old rotisserie chicken.
Oh, perfect. Puss in Boots, you have your rapier. Jim Lake Jr., Daylight resummons to your hand. Megamind, all your gadgets and tools. The Union heads off down towards the business district. As you approach, you will hear the sounds of combat. The first thing you'll notice, thankfully you are all stealth, upwards there's a lot of wreckage. Again, these streets have become a war zone. Cars have been overturned, shops have been boarded up and created into mismatched fortresses. You will see in the center of an intersection is a very crude looking like barricade of cars and police blockades and other just rubble, where it looks to be maybe about a dozen or so humans that have simple rifles and pitchforks, basically, are hunkered down in, and there are about 8 gum-gums. These, I should say, the proper term right now is large. They are twice the size of even Megamind and Jim Lake Jr., right? These are large creatures. Jim, you know, these are classic gum-gums, right? These are the standard soldiers. While not under any control, they are still dangerous. These 8 gum-gums are surrounding the dozen or so humans, but you would all see teleporting off of rooftops into the middle of gum-gums, firing off firebolt and teleporting away is a young woman, maybe about Jim's age, with black hair and white streak through, and hovering currently 60 feet in the air, holding on to like a Mary Poppins-esque warhammer, is a dude, also Jim's age, but much more like portly and small, but full plate armor, I should add, who's just hanging up in the air. You guys do have the stealth off. You can then get a surprise round attack if you guys want to just jump into battle and start taking out gum-gums.
I would love to do that.
How close are they together? And we have 3 grenades.
You do have 3 grenades. What you would notice is...
Unless we want to save those.
The gum-gums are spread out pretty equidistant right now because part of their goal is, like, you think to overwhelm the humans on the inside. But, so, like, you, with the grenades, you could probably hit, like, about 2 in a single blast radius.
How big is their radius?
The radius is about 15-foot radius.
Okay, then I'm going to cast Shatter.
Nice. You cast Shatter. Here we go.
I'm going to get as many as I can.
Let's go ahead and roll initiative for this. Again, this is a surprise round, so you'll each get, like, a full turn before we... Really, but let's roll initiative as we jump in to help give us some of these fun things going on.
Paxton is taking a phone call really quick.
No worries.
So, be back.
I got a 9.
A 9.
I also got a 9.
Jeez. So Jim Lake Jr. and Megamind with 9. Puss in Boots, what did you get?
I rolled a 9, but I got a 14.
Hey, 14. And we'll let...
I'm sorry, dude.
No worries. Let's see here. The gum-gums. Okay.
Sorry, what's going on?
We're rolling initiative on a surprise round to start attacking these gum-gums.
We have a surprise round. Thanks to your...
Okay, I got a 17 for initiative.
17. Excellent stuff, RJ. So here's what's going to happen. You all jump into initiative. Merlin will go first with RJ, and then Puss in Boots, Megamind, then Jim Lake Jr. With Claire and Toby acting before Puss in Boots. They actually rolled a pretty solid 16-15. So that brings us to the surprise round. Merlin is going to take this surprise round. What spell does he want to do? Oh, he's got some solid ones still. Merlin is going to start off with just a big old lightning bolt to 2 of these gum-gums. I'll start rolling for that. RJ, what would you like to do in part of your surprise round right now?
What I'm going to do... How many are there?
There's about 8, and each one is about 15 feet around a circle from each other, as they're a little bit spread out for now.
Okay. I am going to cast Enlarge on Jim.
Ooh, you love to see it. So, Jim Lake Jr., you are now the size of one of these gum-gums. Just
Nice.
big old troll hunter. Ooh, that's such a cool surprise round. So, Jim's about to really just rip into them. Excellent stuff. RJ, at the end of your turn, Puss in Boots, that is your turn.
So, it's the theatrics, right?
Yeah.
Jim just turned into a giant, right? If, with Jim's permission, I want to be on his shoulders when he gets enlarged, so then I can do a flip off and go onto one of the Gum-Gum's head, doing the move in the movie of, like, spearing him right through the head.
Right, so that kind of like
You wanna pull a Link.
using Jim going up and, like, catapulting yourself down in it. I like it. Go ahead again. You have that surprise round. Plus, it's just a cool that advantage of like flipping off a giant's shoulder.
Acrobatics?
Or attack roll because you're able to attack.
Yeah.
Oh, the acrobatics is happening. Yeah, that's very much your passive right now, Puss in Boots. You can do that easily.
Sick. Let's give him a stab. And before I roll, I'd like to stamina point this, please.
Stamina point into the first gum that's right next to you guys. I like it.
Sorry, the dice is still rolling. Give it a minute.
Yes, and of course you have advantage, so we'll just remember that.
Oh,
This D&D Beyond Dice Roll Break is brought to you by... kidding, we're not sponsored.
right Shadowless. No, 13.
13, but again, you have advantage, so go ahead and roll with advantage. And after Puss in Boots, Megamind, you are on deck, my friend.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That is a 12 plus 9, baby.
12 plus 9 for a 21. 21 will hit the Gum. You are maxing damage on this magical weapon. Do you want to put any smites into it at all?
I would love to put a second level smite in this one.
Excellent. Second level smite will give you 3d8. So go ahead. What is your sword normally? We do have to keep your smite separate as Gum-Gums are vulnerable to radiant damage.
Let's go. Normally it's a piercing, 1d8 plus 8.
So 16 just from your first stuff. Love it.
And then do I need a roll for the smite, or does that...
Maxes as well, but... So 3d8 would be 24 radiant, which doubles to 48 radiant damage. My gosh. You love to see it. So
You're about to do.
Oh, I'm not done yet.
So yeah, that's your first attack, Puss in Boots.
I'm gonna attack again.
Attack again. All right, this first one, I will let you know, 64 points of damage. The Gum looks horribly bloodied and cracked as its stone cracks down the middle.
So I'm gonna stamina point before I roll again.
Right, doing it again. Again, still advantage because the surprise round. These are surprised creatures.
It's thinking. Hold on.
Thinking about it. It's
Tank
thinking.
left.
Thinking about it.
This next D&D Beyond Dice Roll Break is brought to you by Oxycontin. Oxycontin.
We kept pushing August.
What?
One of these days, you're actually going to get sponsored, and then we'll have a moment where we're waiting for D&D Beyond.
And we'll do it.
Active lad.
And we'll get to do it. So, Puss in Boots, your first roll of 17 does not hit. Again, still at advantage because of surprise. Because, yeah, 17. These are very tough creatures. They have a really grody armor class.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It's another 17.
Another 17. Unfortunately, Puss in Boots...
Hear me out. No, because I said stamina point.
Yep.
work with me here. Instead of max damage, can I add a dice to my hit?
Nope. Stamina points are only for doing specific maneuver type stabs and called shots. They can't help with much else. So unfortunately, Puss in Boots still using 2 stamina points. The first Gum Gum that was like right behind, like his back to you guys that you guys just stab, already bloodied, but your second attack will not hit.
So my stamina points just go.
Yes, it does use it. It's yes. Thanks for the clarification, though. No worries, though. Puss in Boots, Megamind. That is your turn with Jim Lake Jr. now on deck.
Cool. How many can I get in a 60-foot range?
In a 60-foot range, which spell are you looking at? Shatter. With that range, you would be able, with a 10-foot sphere, you can get about 2 from where they are. Until they start moving, you can successfully get 2 Gum Gums for sure.
Gotcha.
So, would you rather go for 2 fresh ones, though? Or would you go for, like, the one that's already bloodied and another one that's about another 20 feet around?
2 fresh ones.
2 fresh ones. Gotcha. So, next 2, we're going to make their save. Oh, well, the first one rolled a natural 4. Second one, for their
Did they succeed? If not, or if they did, I would cast a negative Bardic.
What's your save DC?
15.
15. They both fail on a nat 4 and a nat 6.
Okay,
so highest was 9.
I'm doing my shatter at just 4th level, and I wanted to do a stamina point with it.
Stamina point, so maxing a big old shatter on 2 fresh ones.
So that's 40 damage.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm hoping that they're vulnerable to it and just explode.
They're made
with
out of
80
stone.
damage.
Unfortunately,
Sure I never thought of that.
these Gum Gums are chaotic giant trolls that don't seem to be vulnerable to thunder damage.
Thunder damage?
They are not vulnerable to thunder damage.
I thought it was force damage.
Yeah, Shatter is thunder damage for some reason.
Yeah, but Shatter does specific things against constructs, right?
Yes.
Because they're made of stone, like...
Technically, they're not constructs until they are turned to stone completely by sunlight. As far as lore goes, they're technically troll giants until they're necrotic dark trolls that have been formed out of rock, but they're for some reason not constructs.
So they're not technically made of rock.
Yeah, it's like they're not made of rock until sunlight hits them. It's a weird phenomenon.
Weird.
Megamind. You have some way to whip up a UV flashlight. You can start turning these stuff into stone.
Does anybody have the daylight spell?
What I will say though, Megamind, still 40 points of thunder damage to 2 fresh ones. Both of these dudes, just right to the right, going around the circle, look horribly, horrifyingly hurt, very close to bloodied already, as big old damage coming from you, Megamind. And Jim Lake Jr., that is your turn. What would you like to do here?
Sorry, you cut, and then it all caught up, and it was just...
Oh, was that not clear?
Repeat whatever you just said.
Just Jim Lake Jr., that will make your surprise round.
Awesome, thank you.
No,
I want to do like that anime run slash attack. You like run past the guy, but you have your sword out, and it's like cuts him in half.
Sweet, I love it. Go ahead.
Which one to go for though?
There's 3 injured. The one that Puss in Boots did is probably the most injured and could probably be taken out.
I forgot to say,
Faster.
Merlin's lightning bolt that he did help. So the one Puss in Boots hit is now on death's door, and the 2 Megamind hit are now bloodied. I forgot to calculate that in. Merlin did do a big old lightning bolt just down the line for 3 of them.
But you do have radiant damage, so you'd probably be able to take out ones with more health.
That's true.
Better
That's
than-
kind of what I want to do.
And then
I don't want to leave you at the mercy of 2 of them, so I might come join you if that's okay.
Okay.
I mean, I did do it from 60 feet away. So.
Yeah, Megamind is
Oh, okay, fair
keeping
enough.
out of range here. They're smart. Yeah.
Okay, good. And I'll attack some fresh ones.
Sweet. Go ahead. So you start going counterclockwise to a fresh one, Jim. Make your first
Yes.
attack with advantage against
Nice.
this troll.
I would also like stamina point.
Stamina point. Heck yeah.
Oh, shoot, that's right. Okay, well that's a 22.
That's a natural 20.
Nat 20. Oh my gosh.
So you maxed out double damage already.
Are you?
On her attack from the enlarge.
Yeah. So here's what we got to calculate now. This is the best part of D&D is just math. So Jim, your sword. How much does your sword naturally do dice wise?
4d6.
4. So your sword will be doing 4d6. So that's 24. You have the extra d4 extra damage. So that doubles as well. So that's another 8. So that's 32. And then
7.
plus 7. So that's 39. Jim, did you want to put a smite into this?
Why not?
Why not? Just a first level?
Yeah, a little first level smite.
Excellent.
And that's plus 8 plus 8?
That's so that's another 16 to the 39. That gives
That's
I
55.
think it's 38.
55 points.
Wait, is it 2d8 or is it 3d8? I think it's 3.
Oh. That would
So
be if you want to
63.
bamf it to a second level. Base might steal 2d8.
Okay.
I'm
Cool.
checking something real quick with the Sword of Daylight. Yes, okay. You also rolled a nat 20 with the Sword of Daylight. You are cutting
the
off
wolf
this
sword.
creature's head. Completely, Jim. So, in true
Hooray.
anime fashion, you deal, because I was wrong, it's not 55. We are talking 39 points of slashing damage with
Yes.
a total of 32 radiant damage, because that doubles already with that vulnerability, for a combined total of 71 points of damage.
You
And-
did the whole anime thing.
So-
where it's like, you shoot, and then you sheath
If-
your sword, and they fall in half.
Indeed. All of you come out of the shadows. These humans are terrified, covered in blood and tears. Toby and Claire are just trying to hold the gum-gums off, trying for an opening, and suddenly, boom, boom,
Oh.
boom, lightning and
Could I
thunder.
have played our theme music as we... Wait, no. That wouldn't have made it a surprise round. Never mind.
Dang it.
I'm gonna allow it. It's a surprise
I
round.
put it
It's
on
cool.
now. Like,
Sure.
as we enter.
As you
there's
enter,
surprise.
music in the
It would
background.
be very surprising.
Thunderstruck.
Jim Lake Jr. jumps up a size as Puss in Boots, boom, almost knocks one completely just on surprise, rushes down, skuh! Gum Gum head slides off the bike, crumbles as it falls and crumbles, poof, explodes into holy light and is no more. Hey Jim, that was your first attack. Would you like to make a second attack on either another fresh one or double back to one of the hurt ones?
I'll come
Say you
back
do
to one of the ones that Megamind zapped.
Or you could hit the one that Puss has hit, and, like, almost guarantee kill it.
The one Puss in Boots hit is on death's door.
Would you like for me to come take that out? Because I'm happy to leave it for you.
I mean,
You're doing good work there.
that's one less we have to worry about.
That's true.
And then you won't have to do too much of, like, extra smites or nothing.
Yeah.
You can just take it out, and that's one less thing in initiative that we have to worry about in case it gets to its round before us.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
not only is a little thing, it's Eleanor not trying to metagame, you can do a lot of damage. Yeah? We should put that on a different guy, so then we can try and
That's what I was
wear them
thinking.
down, so no damage is wasted.
Getting that
Yeah,
DPS
that's
out.
what I want to do.
All right. In which case, Jim, go ahead. One of the fresh trolls, you can make another attack with advantage, still being a surprise round.
Fantastic. Can I throw another stamina point on that?
Yes, you may.
Well, that's a 22.
22 still hits. Yikes. It's grody.
Oh, 46.
Well,
Well,
it's
It was
Oh, gotcha. Okay. That's so cool that it does it automatically.
yeah. It's really
Very
handy.
cool. Oh, I don't even roll for damage, do I?
Yeah. Yeah, because you stamina pointed this.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a max 12-7. So that's 19 damage. You don't even have... Or, oh, no, you're doing a fresh one. Go ahead. Would
Yeah.
you like to smite and tell me what level smite you want to use for this fresh guy?
I would like.
So 3d8, so that's 24, doubles to 48 because, again, these things are vulnerable. So that's 19 plus 48 damage.
67. That's 3 points away from the last one.
67. Style, gigantic, boom, 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 slash through, kill one, heavily bloody another, Megamind, rocks as two of these others look horrifyingly bloodied as well, and Puss in Boots, the one you are fighting, is already on death's door as you whisk your rapier back with RJ and Megamind behind, blasting theme music and spells aplenty. What a surprise round, gang. What a time. You'll love to see it.
Thunderstruck on loudspeakers blaring from one of my little robots.
Yeah. Thunderstruck in the background. That brings us to the top of the order. As we begin, Merlin, once again at the top of the order. Merlin got crazy good there. Merlin might take a page out of RJ's book and buff you guys. Hey, Jim Lake Jr., Merlin is going to cast a 4th level stone skin on you. Because, fun fact, that he does have to concentrate on it, but as long as he does, you have resistance to all non-magical damage. Bludgeoning, piercing, slashing.
Sick.
Merlin in the background just like, kill them, my troll hunter! Yeah! And gives you stone skin. So now, Jim, you are one size larger and made of stone.
Sweet, I'm the tank, y'all.
Yeah, we have sent in the tank with the Sword of Daylight. It's grody. Here we go. That's Merlin's turn. Gives you that. RJ, that's your turn. Claire is on deck with Toby and then Puss in Boots. RJ, what would you like to do?
Question.
Yes.
What exactly are these goblins? Are they perhaps bestial in nature? They seem to be bestial.
Go ahead, give me a quick, we're gonna call this an Arcana check, just a passive Arcana check to see, like, what would we categorize a Gum-Gum as?
Because they're not stone.
They're not stone
15.
constructs. 15.
With a +0.
+0, solid. RJ, you're thinking probably humanoid giant would be the closest thing if we were to give that D&D classification. Giant is probably what they are.
Okay, back to the drawing board.
RJ starts pulling back out different equipment of like, nope, can't use that.
Okay, I guess, screw it. What I'll have to do is, let's see, let me read this real quick. We're level 7. If I had,
Yeah.
I should have been looking at this more. Sorry.
You're good.
Let me just go to my bestiary here. CR7. So I want to find something fun here. Okay. Let's see. Polymorph specific.
Oh no.
Any beat. Okay. So it needs to be a beat. Science beat. Okay. I'm going to transform into a grade 8. Or
Yeah.
giant 8. Sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to run forward and just start punching a Gum-Gum to death.
Heck yeah.
I will start with the one that Puss in Boots hurts, because it's probably closest.
Smart. Yeah.
And I'm just going to run up and I'm going to hit it twice.
Go for it, RJ.
So, +9 to hit, and it deals
3d10.
3 10 plus 6. And I'm just going to roll one attack. Okay, so that misses with a 16.
Yikes.
Second attack. Better. Does a 19 hit.
A 19.
Okay. That's okay. Let's see. So 21 plus 6. As I just start smashing this guy's face in.
21 plus 6, so 27 points of damage. Important to note, it will have, as these Gum-Gums seem resistant to non-magical bludgeoning, slashing, piercing. But still, 27 halved still gives a 18. 18 points of damage, which will kill this first one.
Cool. Well, he's dead, and that's all I got.
That one is on the ground.
I would like to turn towards one of the Gum-Gums and challenge it.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Giant ape starts slapping its chest, RJ. Solid stuff. Here we go. Claire Nunez is going to take her turn. Oh, she does have that spell. Thank goodness. She's almost out of spell slots, but with her second level spell slot, Claire uses a bonus action Misty Step for free with her staff.
Counterspell. Just kidding.
Oh no! Counterspell. Don't you go nowhere.
I don't know who this person is. Counterspell.
Who are you? She Misty steps down into the center of the humans to get within range of Jim Lake Jr. Seeing that Jim is enlarged, she is going to use one of her last spells to also cast Enlarge on Jim Lake Jr. So now Jim is a giant creature. As Claire just Jim, take this, and the staff goes off. Jim Lake Jr., the magic hits you in the chest, and you grow even taller than the Gum-Gums. So now you have an extra 2d4 damage to anything you're doing here. Insane. That is Toby's turn. I have to roll a d20 for Toby. That's an 11. That hammer just became heavy. Toby is about to plummet 60 feet out of the sky onto the Gum-Gum that you have badly damaged, Jim. I will let you know. No, it's a good thing. This is part of his magical weapons ability. Is it went from light to heavy, so he can smack hard. So that is going to deal. Well, first he has to roll the hit, I should say. So with Gravity Hammer, 19 on the die, 24 to hit. That deals 15 points of magical bludgeoning damage, plus the falling damage. Right. He was 60 feet in the air, so that's another 20. So he deals 35 more points, and the gum that you were hitting, Jim, cracks into nothingness as Toby just goes, "Jim, you're alive and giant!" Boom! And crams this next gum dead. Excellent stuff. 35. So that is dead. RJ knocked that one. 2 very hurt. But still there are 3 fresh gums still. But we'll get to that. As Puss in Boots, that is your turn, my friend.
Sorry, take a second. So the one I'm on, still up, yeah?
RJ was able to knock the one you were down. So now to your right, there are 2 very bloodied ones.
Oh, great. Just want to double check that I'm not using Baldur's Gate and, D&D lore. Moonbeam. Can I pass that without hurting myself?
I believe so. We will double check here.
What? I think Moonbeam hurts you unless you center it on yourself and are specifically I want to get hurt.
Apparently in Baldur's Gate, if you step into your own Moonbeam, you get hurt.
Yes. It's whatever creature is inside the cylinder of light. When a creature enters for the first time on their turn or starts his turn there, it will have to make the con save against the radiant light. So you can't center it on yourself unless you want to get hit.
That's why you get careful spell.
But I'm not as close to
Exactly. Do better.
So I'm going to do some acrobatics to go on to the next one.
Okay.
And I'm going to be willing to take damage.
Okay.
And is there a way, because Megamind was able to do a spell with stamina. Could I do Moonbeam with a stamina point?
Yep. It costs, I think this would be your last stamina point, but yeah, no, you totally can now. You're going to
You also don't have to be inside Moonbeam in order to cast it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. I'll do fancy acrobatics to be on Jim or something again, to then cast Moonbeam. Can I try and get both of them in the same light?
I believe
how wide it is?
Moonbeam has the same kind of radius as Shatter, just barely. So yeah, the 2 that have Shatter, you should be able to center it just in between the 2 to hit both of them.
Get both of them.
Excellent.
Hitting both.
So Jim, Puss in Boots runs up your leg onto your armor again. It's a very unnatural feeling now how big you are. I mean, I don't want to be gross, but it's like a cockroach size thing going skitter up you. But it's a cat. So you stamina point this. The Gums are going to make still their con save, because it'll be max damage, but they could still half it. One Gum nat 20s for half.
Boo.
The other one nat 4s for full. So
I should have negative bardicked it.
Yeah. That is going to be 20 halves to
fast.
10 radiant for the first one. Who with 10 halves to 10 doubles back to 20 because it's radiant. Yep. So the first Gum looks on death's door now. The second one takes 20 double to 40 and is erupted into that blue flamish holy light and is gone no more.
Hey, I have another attack.
But that was a spell though, Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get 2 melees, but 1 spell.
Yeah.
Your action is either a melee, which splits then into 2, or it's the 1 action, which is the... Yeah.
No worries, though. Excellent stuff, though. As again, that Moonbeam is still there, so when the creatures, if they enter that again, or on their subsequent next turns, and again, Puss in Boots, you can choose as an action on future turns you can move this moonbeam up to 60 feet from you, or 60 feet from its spot. Puss in Boots, at the end of your turn, that will be Megamind's turn with Jim Lake Jr. on deck.
Yay.
So
Okay.
The Gum Gum hasn't a single turn yet.
They had the lowest initiative roll. They are terrible when it comes to their initiative.
How many are left? There's the one that's in the moonbeam that's going to get hit by the moonbeam and die.
There's 2 dead to the left, 1 dead in front of you, 1 hurt, 1 dead, and there's 3 fresh ones that are like on the opposite side, almost like 80 feet away from you guys, around this barricade.
Cool.
So there's 4 left alive.
3 left. 3 left that are completely fresh, 1 on death's door.
Yeah, which is probably going to explode the second that the moonbeam starts its turn.
Yeah.
So I will probably just cast Shatter again.
Solid.
Yeah, so I'll do that on 2 of the far away ones.
Sweet. Easy enough. Yeah, Megamind, using your movement.
With a stamina point.
Stamina point in. Here we go. They're going to roll their con saves. So the first one got a nat 2. Fails, for
Cool.
sure. Second
If
one.
it succeeds, then I plant a silvery barbs it.
That's a nat 1. I rolled a 2 and a 1. So 2 of these fresh ones, as Megamind starts running counterclockwise, or clockwise as Jim runs counterclockwise, Megamind, these 2 are the fresh ones that are just now realizing this is an ambush from newcomers. Boom! 40 points of damage, and look horribly hurt. Dang. 40 points of damage. Excellent turn though, Megamind. Do you want to use your bonus action for a bardic to anyone, or would you just like to hold your turn there?
I'll bonus action a bardic to Jim since he's next.
Sweet. So, Jim Lake Jr., to recap, as you enter your turn, you are 2 sizes larger, you have stone skin, and you have a bardic with a giant sword of daylight and a tiny little cat on your shoulder, kind of like a little figurine cat.
Throw the cat.
Well, roll the
Throw
cat.
the cat.
Oh my gosh.
Boom!
Cast catapult on the cat.
Catapult.
It would be the proper size now.
Yes. Jim, what would you like to do?
So the fresh ones are about 80 feet away, you said?
Yes, but from you, because you've already been moving though, Jim. Yours, you should be able to just move and jump over to get right up next to the last fresh one. Because Megamind got the 2 that on the way he's going around, because you were going around kind of to pincer move it, so you can move and jump and get to the last fresh one.
Fantastic. I would love to do that.
Sweet. Go ahead.
Is that going to miss Puss in Boots? Is it going to mess up Moonson? No.
Should it?
No.
Yeah, Puss in Boots just needs to keep concentration on.
Cool. Wasn't sure if it was like a ranged thing that moved with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's use the sword of daylight.
You are doubled. So what I'm gonna say is you for sure have advantage on your attacks now. With 2 enlarges on you, that's gotta give advantage.
I'm gonna take the first one.
Yeah. 29 for sure hits. Do you want to smite on this, Scum Gum?
Yeah. Why not? Do a little bit of first hit smite on there.
Just a little bit of. So go ahead, roll 2d6, 2d4, and 2d8, and all of that plus 7.
2d6, 2d4, 2d8, and then I have a d4 bardic from Megamind, right?
That's to hit. You can't use it for damage, unfortunately,
right.
but...
Right. Okay.
I'm not that kind of bard, but I also have a D8 bardic.
That
So.
is 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that was 23.
23. But remember, 23. 11 of those points were radiant, though, so that becomes 34 total points of damage. Okay. I should have said we probably should have rolled the radiant solo just to keep it, but thankfully I watched it. So 34. This last fresh Gum Gum ain't looking so fresh right now. As you run over, boom! First attack. It looks very hurt. Would you like to take your second attack?
I would, thank you.
Once again with advantage, and you have the Bardic if you need it.
Excellent. I'm gonna take that Bardic.
Bardic, so...
D8.
D8 Bardic.
D8,
yeah.
oh nice. I'm gonna add that on to 10. Perfect. That's an 18.
So, 28...
Oh no, that doesn't hit.
No, it's
Right?
10 plus 18. Because you have a 10 plus 10.
Oh, you're right.
I'll let you be done. You don't have to use the Bardic if you don't want to, because the 20 would have hit anyway.
Okay, I'll hold on to the Bardic then. Thank
No
you.
worries.
I keep forgetting that.
Would you like to do another first level smite to this guy though, or do you just want to do your normal? Okay, go for it.
We're gonna do it.
Heck yeah. Jim Lake Jr. just soaking up damage into these guys.
Okay, that's 7 plus 7 is 14 plus 2d8.
2d8 radiant. Mm-hmm. And plus 2d4 again from your enlargement.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that's 14 plus 12 double 24. So that is already 38.
Oh, yeah! That's another 7.
So 45 more damage. You have dealt 79 points of damage into this Gum Gum in one round, as Claire and Toby are just cheering you on. The humans too are starting to go like, Jim. Like they don't know who you are, but are like, hey, you're not killing us, and this giant is helping us. Because they've yet to notice the raccoon ape in the background and a tiny cat on the shoulder and Megamind. Fun fact, you're more naturally able to see giants than other people. At the end of your turn, Jim, though, all of these Gum Gums are looking so badly messed up. But that will now make their turn officially. Finally. On their
There we go.
8 initiative, they can finally go. As they start their turn, here's what's about to happen. Megamind, the 2 Gum Gums that you shattered look like they just healed slightly. And the one, RJ, the Gum Gum that you hit down gets back up. Although still looking on death's door, but he has a bit of a regenerative feature. So very much on death's door, but barely up now. So that guy is barely up. All right. But the ones Jim Lake Jr. You slash into don't seem to be regenerating. Same with Puss in Boots.
Breaking damage, folks.
What? Radiant? Radiant? Yes, the ones with Moonbeam that Puss in Boots did and Jim Lake Jr., the Radiant seems to be stopping this condition. The Gum Gums
I
will
would
then...
say the ones that Jim killed are looking positively radiant.
Oh my god.
Oh, they're looking exploded-y, is actually the proper term. Yeah, it's a weird troll hunter lore. When the Sword of Daylight cuts a troll, they just go... Here comes Moonbeam triggers on the troll over here. Even on his success... Oh, wait, no, but Stamina Point only works when you fresh use it. So, Puss in Boots, can you roll me 2d10 Radiant, and it will just be whatever you roll, because it halves but then redoubles there.
2d10?
No, he said Puss in Boots.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, this is Puss in Boots' Moonbeam that he's keeping concentration on.
Awesome.
Thought I heard Jim for some reason.
You're totally fine. Let's see, how many gums are left? Because this one's probably about to die here. 19. Almost full damage anyway. This Gum in moonlight erupts into fire and explodes and is dead, truly. So there is 4 Gums left. One of them on death's door that's gonna try to attack Ape RJ. 2 that are going to try to run and hit Megamind, and the one that's very bloodied that's going to try to hit Jim Lake Jr. So, RJ, first Gum Troll against you has... Wow, yeah, a couple attacks here, so here we go. First attack is 21.
That hit? Yeah, that hit.
Mm-hmm. Second one is a slam attack, 14.
That hits.
And last one is 11.
That misses.
Misses. So,
are these considered huge creatures?
Yes, these are considered huge creatures.
Right, so I'm equal in size to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that thankfully it's that like neither of you have the advantage or disadvantage like what Jim Lake Jr. is doing, but the sword in the Gum will deal 14 points of damage, and then it uses its fist and deals an additional 8. So that's 22 points of damage there. Just kind of boom, boom into you, RJ, from the Gum.
Easy.
Oh, I forgot to do something. Well, no, I forgot. So that Gum, so 2 Gums run over for you, Megamind, and are going to do the exact same thing on you. Just a lot of, each of them have a sword strike and then 2 punches that they're trying to punch Megamind with. So here we go. 14 and 15, so their swords attack both miss.
Okay, if any of them hits a nat 20, I want a negative bardic.
Yes, yes.
Sure.
So here we go. Here come their 4 slam attacks between both of them. So 15, miss. 17, so there's 1 hit. 9, miss. 17, so 2 attacks with their fist.
Shoot.
That will only be, though, a total of 14 points of damage, Megamind, as they just, again, swords, boom, boom, and you use your little robots and twist and turn and fly out of the way, and then they just start pummeling you with these fists the size of you, definitely hurting there.
Hold on.
Let's see, that's their stuff. What is...
Okay, so for one of those, could I use silvery barbs?
Yes, you may. Force a
Because I
reroll.
took that spell, and I was not sure if it required me to say it before or after the result, but if they succeed, then I can make them re-roll, and they have to take the lower roll.
Exactly, yeah. Silvery Barbs is a wildly good reaction. So, one of these slam attacks, I'll re-roll. Here we go. 15 misses. Go ahead, subtract, or add back 8 hit points there, Megamind, because that last one wouldn't have hit you. So you only take 6 points of damage.
Oh, right. And then who... I'm going to give the Hammer Kid advantage.
Solid. So Toby, whose hammer is now in its heavy mode, now has advantage on that next hit. Solid. The last Gum's going to try to attack Jim Lake Jr., and honestly, I feel bad. So here we go. Rolling flat, Jim, the Gum strikes you with his sword. 11. Misses. 2 slam attacks. Okay, hold on. These actually look good. 22 and a 23. But you will take half of all this because Merlin's given you Stone Skin. Alright, so that's 9 plus 10, half back down to 9 points of damage, Jim Lake Jr. That's disgusting. So yeah, this Gum is like boom, 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 and Jim, it tickles. Honestly, you are this giant troll now, and you are arg-sized truly, and it's showing. That's the Gum's turn. They did so bad.
Scale-wise, you're way bigger than Arg.
Oh yeah. Oh, actually, that's true. Yeah, Arg is only technically large in terms of D&D. That's
You went large and then huge. So yeah.
Oh dang.
Oh my gosh. Here's what's gonna happen. Back at the top of the order, Merlin's going to help out here. I think he's going to give one of his last 3rd levels for another lightning bolt against the 2 Gums that just ran up to Megamind. Just helping in just with that damage there. So here we go. Well, they both fail, so they're going to take a full 8d6 lightning damage.
Yeah.
That's another 27. So, the Gums in front of you, Megamind, now look bloodied as Merlin comes up and is like, "Eat lightning, foul Gums!" Poof, and lightning bolts off to kind of like blast them off of you. RJ, as a giant ape, that is you with this Gum that looks horribly hurt here.
Okay, I want to hit him once. See what happens there.
Okay. Go ahead, hit him.
That's a fail. So I'm going to roll my second attack.
Awesome. So
That's another fail.
First attack, yikes, yeah. You going, this Gum, boom, boom.
Run away. No. So how many Gums are there?
Right now, there are only 4 remaining. 3 very bloody.
I would be close to Mega Man, right?
Yeah, you're close to Megamind. Like, there's Moonbeam over that way, too.
Yes. Anyway, I would like to run and try to have that Gum like aggro me.
Smart.
Since I'm a big ball of hit points at the moment.
Yeah. So yeah, he'll try to opportunity attack you as you run too. So yeah, there's that like that's a synthetic 15. So he does get that sword attack on you, but again, yeah, you have a ton of hit points as a giant ape. So yeah, 14 slashing, basically nothing to you right now. As you run over, kind of group back up with Megamind Merlin.
Down to 121 hit points.
Yeah. You are a ball of meat and fur and hit points as you aggro the Death Store Gum to chase after you.
And I also want the one that's been hitting Megamind to aggro me.
Oh, smart. So it's that like, hey, all 3 Gums, don't hit the bard, hit the ape. I like it. I think so. Yeah. Right now it is that like, if you're monkeying around, no pun intended, I'll allow it. That will make Claire's turn. Claire is out of all her spell slots. She and Toby have been fighting for a while. They both look bloodied. Claire is going to, once again, bonus action Misty Step over to a rooftop. Kind of where you are, Jim Lake Jr. with Toby. And she is going to cast Firebolt. Try to hit the Gum that's in front of Jim. Dang, that is a 17, which will miss. So you see with the staff, boom, a firebolt goes off Jim. That's new. She's never cast fire before. That's kind of fun. Like, she's getting spells now. Not a huge spellcaster, but enough. But unfortunately, the firebolt misses, blasts into the concrete. Toby will take his turn. I have to roll to see what mode his hammer goes into. 18, still in heavy mode. Toby, unfortunately, his speed is halved with it in heavy, but that's still enough for him to get up to Gum. He's going to try to roll the hit. Crap. I think that is a miss on a 13.
Roll again.
He's got silvery barbs. Thank you, Megamind. I rolled the exact same thing. Crap. You're noticing the hammer he was holding that at one point was carrying him in the air is now crushing into the asphalt as he is struggling to pick it up. It's how the cookie crumbles.
Lucky.
Lucky? Heck yeah.
He deserves to feel cool in this moment.
Megamind, he does deserve to feel cool. You have just given him a nat 20. Go ahead, take a point of inspiration for believing in Toby, as you put your faith in Toby, and it paid the dividends.
Like, you got this, kid.
Toby's about to deal 4d12 damage now with this hammer, as normally in heavy mode it deals 2d12. So...
Yeah.
Toby looks over as Megamind. How would you inspire or give this, like, help to him?
Probably just like, you got this, kid. You can't let your friend have all the glory.
Toby looks over at this blue alien man, goes, "Wow, you're right, sir. I can help Jim. Thank you. Who are you?" As Toby then full on, like, places himself and full carnival style lever, boom, just slams the hammer down. The Gum is now on death's door. Well and truly, like, wind could blow it over at this point. As that's Toby's turn. Well done, Megamind. You believed in him.
A wise alien.
A wise alien once said, "Believe in yourself." That's insane. You love to see it. So that will make Puss in Boots. I do know Elle just stepped out for that half a second. So we'll let, when they get back, move around Moonbeam and whatever else Puss wants to do. Oh, are you back already? Perfect. Puss in Boots, yes, it's your turn. Would you like to action move your Moonbeam, or would you rather do something else?
There's one that's still on death's door, yeah?
There is one on death's door that is about to chase after RJ. You could move... It's that, like, you might have to hold action if you want to wait until these 3 Gums close on RJ, and then you could move Moonbeam to center on those 3.
Yeah, because radiant damage kills them.
Radiant damage stops that regen, yeah. I would say yes, Puss in Boots. I'd allow a held action of, like, you are concentrating on Moonbeam, ready for... Because RJ did aggro them, that, like, hey, find the ape, it's ready to move Moonbeam. Again, not to hit RJ, but just the 3 Gums. That will make, then, Megamind, Jim Link Jr., you're on deck, as Puss in Boots, you're holding that action. Megamind, what do you want to do?
I am gonna just healing word the human person who looks most hurt right now.
Out of the 2, Toby and Claire does seem much more hurt. She is that caster, doesn't have as many hit points, if that makes sense.
But she's relatively far away, so I'll just do Toby.
Gotcha. Yeah, Claire, with her staff, she has that Misty Step free bonus action, basically. So, yeah, healing word Toby, definitely going to help, because he was starting to look pretty gnarly. 10? Alrighty. With 10, Toby is no longer bloodied. Toby feels that, like, oh, you see, Flavor as, like, that magical asthma inhaler. He just, oh, wow. Jim, who are these people? As Toby's no longer looking bloodied. Smart stuff there, Megamind. Bonus action. Still have an action there.
Right. Ooh, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Is there the gum that looks the most injured?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if I can dehydrate it.
Gotcha. So the one RJ aggroed be like, hey, let me see if I can use my dehydration gun. I will allow it. Or excuse me, Megamind, you might be able to try the dehydration gun on that. You would provoke 2 opportunity attacks from the gums that closed with you last turn.
Hmm. Yes.
Okay. One gum with their sword. It's an 11. Misses. Second.
Yay.
Ooh. That is a 22 on the die. Oh, so that would mean if you rolled an exact 7...
Silver barbs?
Silvery barbs, yeah. So, spell slot for silvery barbs are much better. That is only 14. Misses. Who do you want to give the silvery barbs to?
Jim already has advantage, so who's next in initiative after Jim?
After Jim would be RJ in ape form.
RJ then.
Sweet. So offering RJ that silvery barb advantage. Ape ready. Ape strong together. Megamind, you rush over then. Excellent. Reaction, bonus action. Here comes the action gun. Go ahead. You're going to make a ranged spell attack to hit, and on a success, the gum will have to make a save against being dehydrated.
Hey. Nat 13 plus 7, 20.
20 hits. Here we go. The gum is going to make a Constitution saving throw. It does have to beat that DC 16. Again, I'll let you know, it's got a pretty good save to con, but I have been rolling terrible.
Careful.
On a synthetic 11, Megamind, you rush up. This gum on death's door, sword overhead, as you right into the pectoral, pull back and syringe that slurping sound. The gum falls to the ground and is a cubic little block of nothingness. Excellent, Megamind.
Pick that up.
I like it.
Sweet. Yeah, go ahead. Just add to your inventory. You have a dehydrated gum. Honestly, it's for the adventure on the go. Sweet. That is Jim Lake Jr. There is the gum in front of you on death's door, and then the other 2 that Puss in Boots is waiting until their turn to moonbeam over to them.
Okay, I'll start with the one in front of me.
Sweet. Go ahead. Make your attack with advantage, of course.
We'll do a little stabby stab.
Just a little stab.
Oh, dang it. I'll take the 18.
18. 18 will miss. Go ahead. You can use Megamind's Bardic that's still active to bolster to... 19 is their AC, as you guys will now know.
Perfect.
Sweet. So, 25 hits.
Yay.
Do you want to put in Smite to ensure that this thing not only goes down, but dies?
Oh, you're right. Radiant. Because the sword doesn't automatically deal radiant damage.
It's true.
That's at later levels.
I only have one more first level smite, though.
Mm-hmm.
You can do higher levels.
Yeah, I can do a higher level smite.
Really mess this dude up.
Second level smite.
So that's 3d8 radiant damage.
3d8. Okay. So that was a 13 with just the sword, and then 13.
Doubles 26.
Radiant damage.
So 39 total. Jim, sword comes down, bisects the troll. Boom! Explodes, and holy light is gone.
Nice.
Excellent stuff. Do you want to go? You could try to make one last attack at the Gum-Gums, but these are the ones Puss in Boots is about to move the moonbeam on. Or do you want to start helping out the humans that are in the barricade, or what else do you want to try to Jim? Because you have a second attack, but you still have like your movement and bonus actions.
Right. I wonder. I think. Okay, so what on one of the
Guiding Bolt is a spell, so you can't spell.
then what I'm gonna do is probably help the people that are on the barricade, maybe.
Yeah. Basically, Jim, in your current state, you can start moving. These humans not only were barricaded here, they were trapped here. Now that you're kind of focusing on them, it's not like, oh, they couldn't get out. You start picking people up and over, moving cars to create paths as these people start running. Toby and Claire start immediately just like, Arcadia High, run there right away. They start helping fuddle people. As at the end of your turn, Jim, the last two Gum-Gums rush at RJ, but Moonbeam right on over. Here we go. Puss in Boots, go ahead and roll me 2d20s. I will roll their Constitution saves. That's a 3 and a 4 on the die for both of them.
Losers.
You meant 2d10, yeah? I'll roll 2d20 if you really need it.
Oh, 2d10. 2d10. Don't you dare. Don't you dare, Puss. But they will take full damage of this, and it will double with that radiance. Gosh dang it.
Always love it.
Love to see it.
Double to 22.
These Gum-Gums, at the start of their turn, look horrifyingly bloodied, almost on death's door. So close. That makes they are going to start attacking RJ. As here we go. First one. 21 for its sword. Its slam attack. That's a 26 and a 16 for its slam. So one Gum-Gum hits you with all its attacks. Next one.
I'll walk it off.
The next one, nat 20's its sword.
I'll walk it off.
Walk it off. You might have the hit points to just tank this. Here come its two fist attacks. Synthetic 20.
This could have all been at you, Megamind. That's all I'm saying.
The second one got a nat 20 and then got two synth 20. So 6 attacks. One of those swords is a crit.
I don't have a reaction, or I would help you.
Yeah, because
No, don't worry about it. I have 121 hit points left.
Oh,
And that's without
You're
even
fine.
having any of his raccoon points. Oh, he's fine.
Good.
plus.
good. We're good.
You good? You good?
Good.
These Gum-Gums deal a combined total of 57 hit points, which doesn't even get you below half, or you're to half barely, I think, RJ. Take their whole turn, just boom, 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 slashing and hacking at this big old ape, and can't do crap against it.
It's like foaming in the mouth and your eyes start glowing.
At
You've
the
only
top of the order, Merlin is going to... Oh, he doesn't have third or fourth level spells. I don't know. Merlin is going to... he's going to hold action a Cone of Cold just in case. Just in case something shows up. Just start blasting. RJ, that's you.
Hey, which one looks the most damaged?
So fun fact, because of Megamind centering Shatter and because of Moonbeam, they are actually both equally damaged.
Okay. How bad do they look?
Both of them are horrifyingly bloodied, almost at death's door. So like a good strong...
I have advantage.
You have advantage.
I don't remember what. Okay. So I'm gonna attack one.
Okay.
That's a natural 20.
Woo!
So that is 60-10.
So this ape just goes ape shit and punches. 6d10.
So that's 34 plus 6. So 40 points of hit points as I would like to rip his head off.
Boom! Stonehead comes off.
As a weapon to smash the head in on the other one. Because as an ape, I do have a rock attack.
Yeah! You take the head of a Gum Gum and start beating the other one, RJ. Roll to hit on the second one. That's insane.
So I have advantage on this one as well?
I don't think so. I think Silvery Barbs is that, like, first time reaction. So I think this one's flat.
That's okay. Does a 22 hit?
22 hits. So 3...
Okay.
Or wait, no, that's the rock attack, yeah.
76 plus 6. Oh, I rolled a lot of ones. 19, so 25 points of damage.
How do you want to do this, RJ? As even though your attacks aren't...
Just take the rock skull of one and crumb them together until there's nothing left.
All of this is inside the moonbeam. So even though, RJ, this isn't radiant, these things just... It's a bonk emoji, L. Boom. Boom. With that, as this ape just starts going boom, 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 you all exit initiative as all of these Gum Gums are destroyed.
Cool.
Solid.
Yeah.
Nice.
Stop.
Can I take all the bits of orc while I'm still an ape and like try to make a statue?
One of those like rock on rock little statue things.
But like it's their body parts, like, right?
Yeah, right. Send this as a message. Just a pile of rocks.
Take one of the rocks and stick it on the end of a stick.
So, like, anyone else has no context. Just they'd walk by and be like, someone put a stick on a rock. All right, yeah, it's the apocalypse. I believe it. To only Gum Gums be like, oh my gosh, that brutal. But yes.
The rock part of a Gum Gum. Listen, anyway.
You'll love to see it. Puss in Boots, Moonbeam does fade eventually as Megamind, you put away the Gum Gum cube that you have access to. Jim Lake Jr., as you finish helping the humans out, you will naturally decrease in size as enlarge from both Claire and RJ fade. And you guys are left in the intersection. All the people of Arcadia have been sent to the high school. Jim, the first thing that happens as we come out of Initiative 2, Claire runs over and gives you the longest hug you've ever had in your life.
I'm gonna hug her so hard back.
As she hugs you, you are both interrupted.
I know Toby to join.
Toby doesn't wait for me. He's like, "Oh!" As Toby is just sobbing, like, "Oh, you're alive! Oh, we thought you were dead, and then I thought they were dead, and then we escaped. Oh, you're back! Oh, I have my best friend back. I'm not alone anymore." And you see Claire's like, "What's that supposed to mean?" I mean, like, my best troll best friend, besides Arg and besides people. Okay, my oldest friend, as
It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're okay.
the three of you have that relief inside. As Jim, you can introduce Toby and Claire to the party if you choose.
Yes. Oh, these are some friends. I think we're friends. We might be friends. They don't like me very much lately, but whatever. We're mostly friends. That I made in the old world before I was free from Morgana. And, long story short, we founded a chicken city on our way over. So we're building a safe haven on the East Coast. Don't worry about it. And so then we forget how we even made our way out here, but we made our way out here. And Merlin's here too. You remember Merlin? And so this is. I'm going to point to Megamind. This is Megamind. I think he's an alien.
Yes.
This is Arcadia. Are you a raccoon right now?
At some point, the giant ape would turn into a raccoon.
Yeah. He looks like this most of the time, but he's actually a chicken.
So.
I'm still not convinced.
Megamind, you're holding out hope. There's no way that was
I
a
just
chicken.
turned right to him and go, fuck.
I don't know what the heck he is, but he's not a chicken.
How disconcerting of a raccoon looking me in the eyes and going,
This
"Bop."
alien.
He's probably an alien, too.
Oh my gosh. And then I point to Puss in Boots and I say, and this is Puss in Boots. He's a cat. It's got mad skill.
That's cat.
You say Puss in Boots. Claire and Toby, their eyes immediately widen in recognition. You see, they go, "Wait, Puss in Boots, the outlaw? You're a cat?" You see, Claire goes, "No, I've never met him." Looks at you. "We met some of your old friends. This cat and dog showed up a month ago."
Grab the picture, I'm like, where are they?
Again, Claire is like an adult woman, so you're like holding on, just like, you know that cat way where you're like...
You climb up to the collar and are dangling.
The cat
Standing on the
dangle.
shoulders of the raccoon.
Yeah, right. RJ pushes up. Claire's just like...
Or that instinct.
No, it was... Perito was one of them, and a kitty... we didn't think too much. They came by here. They were looking to steal from Morgana, and were saying to look out for you, that you might be coming by eventually, and to give you a message.
Oh, so your friends are dead.
I immediately, I want to throw a knife at Megan.
Yeah, just offhand. Claire just goes, "They were just wanting to let you know they're here. They knew you'd be coming eventually because they think whatever Morgana's doing is related to the wish spell stuff. They said you would know what that meant, and they were going to try to break in to Morgana's fortress." All of you, past history, remember Strickler saying, apparently, yeah, other adventurers have been showing up every so often to take a crack at Morgana. You see Claire, though, reaffirming, yes, Puss in Boots, Kitty and Perito have been here recently, and maybe went a little bit east to the mountains to try to get to Morgana.
They're dead.
We need to stop them
And I
before
said
they do that.
RJ.
then team up with them.
As Puss in Boots having that like mini freak out of like, ooh.
You know, like when a cat puffs up, or like the nervous running like, is like running one corner, running to another, like
that
I
weird
need to go get them. I need to get them,
nervous cat energy. You see though, Claire and Toby turn to then all of you guys. So, have you made it to Troll Market? If you're in town, have you been to the high school?
Yes, we've been to Troll Market. We saw Blinky and Arg, and they're doing great. We did go to the high school, and Strickler's in charge.
Hey, so, your mom.
You see, Claire gives that like very apologetic look, and Toby makes that like I want to puke face of like,
them making out.
I will hurt you.
You see, you're gonna hate this, Jim. Claire's about to say something, and you're about to realize the timeline changed. Claire goes, "Oh, Jim, I don't know if you know, they're not dating right now. Strickler proposed the other day to your mom."
What?
As I rolled for Strickler's timeline change, Strickler had a timeline change, and so his minor changes. He doesn't want to wait any longer, and he confessed his feelings to your mom.
Another party stealing an amulet. That means you want to put a ring on your mom.
Arthur sends a note to himself. Jim Lake Jr.'s mom is getting engaged to by his arch nemesis.
Didn't even ask permission.
Didn't even ask permission.
I feel like
I'm here.
Yeah. This was the timeline change of he has apparently proposed, and your mom said yes. Apparently, times are so dangerous that they didn't want to wait.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna whirl around and point at Merlin and be like, this is your freaking fault. I know it's your fault.
Merlin points right back. It very well might be my fault, but it might as well be your fault as well.
How is this my fault?
It could be, just as much as it could be mine. It could be the cat, it could be the chicken, and he points to RJ, as Merlin will full believe he's a chicken. Could be anyone's fault. But the point is, we have the element, and he kind of points to his amulet, of surprise. We need to
cancel the wedding.
You see, Merlin goes, "What? No, don't worry about weddings. We need to go for Morgana."
How am I supposed to not worry about weddings at a time like this?
Hey, if we get the entire country of chickens to object at the wedding, it'll never happen.
That's right, you have a covert Operation Chickens. We could just kill Strickler.
So we can have them get married.
We probably shouldn't kill him.
We can have them get married in the city of New York.
I think they should get married.
And then one after one, every single chicken in the city can object to the wedding.
Who's like put the paw on Jim's
Everyone
shoulder?
knows legally.
Or maybe
if you object to
you need
your
to
wedding.
accept that her mother is her own woman and can make her own decisions for her life, and all you can really do is love her.
Or we could kill him in the night.
Her. She's not the problem.
She's not the problem. I do want my mom to
turn
be
him into a
happy.
cube.
My about-to-be
Yeah.
stepfather is a mass murderer who is 6 years old and tried to kill me on multiple occasions.
You could have step-siblings.
At that point, he just throws up. And he's like, here,
Jim, it's...
Well, maybe now you should just tell your mom what he's done.
I was gonna say, yes, does your mom know what he's done?
yeah.
Because before he was gonna...
Does she know?
Your mom,
Does she know
again,
that he's a
her memories are subtly been changed and coming back. She's having a lot of that, quite literal psyche problem of between some of those spell works from the show of she knows enough, but there's a lot she's still remembering. So it's something you might have to ask her of, how much do you remember now? Especially with timeline shenanery, if whatever happened, she might know everything, she might know nothing. So you could ask her, be like, do you remember?
Of all the
Do you
timelines,
remember?
oh my gosh.
Or just confront the man and be like, hey, you better tell her everything or I will.
Or maybe you don't. And I look.
Because if she still decides that she wants to be with him after knowing everything and not being influenced by spell work, then at that point it's kind of a loss. You just gotta accept it. But if she knows everything and then doesn't accept him, then it's her choice in her full mind.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we definitely need to make sure she knows what she's in for.
But you can't just, like, immediately go and tell, because then they're both going to get mad at you. You got to have him tell her.
Yes. And you see Puss, like, kind of, like, sits on your shoulder, you know, and goes, you need to go out with a little bit of tact, because you need to still respect her decision, because in her mind, Strickler is not the same man that you know, right? So with you having information, you need to say, here's the info, and then you have to let her make her own choice.
I cannot believe that she would marry this guy.
Yeah, no, it's pretty shitty. I'm sorry, man.
I love
That's
how...
awkward. He was one of my teachers.
I mean, stuff happens to Canadians, man.
This has gone from like, all right, we gotta take out Morgana, she's getting so powerful, to like, hey, let's go like have a full DTR with Jim's mom and old teacher to perhaps stop a wedding.
We have time.
I will say, Puss in Boots' friends going to raid Morgana's castle is maybe a little higher on the priority list than wedding that may or may not happen.
Slightly more in it.
I feel like Cactus has a tiny bit of spike at the back of it, you know, like how cats are like slightly agitated. He's like, oh no, I'm definitely still freaking out about that. I'm just trying to make sure that Jim, you know, like puts upon you just like that you know that you are being heard and seen and that this stops and that we will get through it together, okay?
I mean, one tragedy has already happened, one is still to come.
One is still to come.
So anything that's happened to your friends is already done. But we can still stop a wedding. But we can still go and save your friends, so we should still do that. Because they're not going to get married right now in the middle of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they do, obviously speaks more volumes about them than you.
The term right now they're using is engaged. He proposed. Obviously, they're not getting married right now, because that would be wild.
Married like, in the middle of a national crisis.
In the middle of an apocalypse, that's not... Well, I mean, Jim, you know...
More time to get married if the world's gonna end, so...
Hey, friends, Toby, do you know what day the wedding is?
Megamite, you turned out... Toby has been, like, studying you, just in that, like, awe and fascination of, like, an alien who believes in me. Like, just, like, having fun there, just like, what? Don't worry, Jim. Don't worry. They didn't set a date. They've just sent out the, like, save the announcement cards. They weren't even cards. They were just telling people. I don't know why I called them announcement cards. So don't worry.
I would like to go get my friends. But I also, like, if it's okay, August, I'm kind of pulling a Dreamworks shenanery. It's not going to give me any stats in-game. But it's like, because you know I'm a...
You're what?
Yeah, I'm a licensed marriage counselor. I can, if you want me to be there when we talk to your mom and your teacher, I can help.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
August took off his glasses of skepticism. I don't think he believes you.
I look right at you and I go, oh, Doc.
Hey, I am what I am. I'm sorry. I will turn into a chicken right now.
19.
Puss in
Wow.
Boots, you are a licensed marriage counselor in the city of Del Mar.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Oof. And yet you still haven't had a successful
I
relationship.
ran away from my first marriage. With kitty stuff and stuff. Anyway, school.
Yes, because it sounds like head to the school to get a long rest. As also, Morgana's palace would be a bit of a ways away. It might be prudent to either like go because it's that like now would be the time of who are we all taking, and like especially probably get the invisible car at that point too, because it's her fortress is not in Arcadia, right? It's off into what we would think of like the Carlsbad Mountains of the Rockies, starting into that range. It's a bit of a trek backwards. You guys head back to the school. Easy enough because again, you took out the nearest gum-gums, as you know. When you all arrive, immediately you are all greeted like heroes. The dozen people that you saved back there immediately ran here and spread the word. You see Coach Lawrence is just like cheering you on, Jim. People are shaking Puss in Boots and RJ's tiny little hands just in that like thank you. People are like cheering you on, Megamind, just like we don't know if you're really human, but we like you anyway. Everyone. The Union has earned the respect of HR, the Human Resistance. I mean, you guys were already pretty close, but it was that like you definitely did an obvious thing. As you guys are cheered through, you see up in front of you, Jim, as you are all heading towards the gymnasium, your mom, who is beaming, looks so proud, and Strickler with the same look of pride on his face. He looks proud. Indeed, though, now, Jim, due to that fun little timeline change, there are bands around your mother's ring and Strickler's that you see they have those now. Weren't there before, but yeah.
As we're going up, maybe I'll lean over to Jim and be like, there's also a possibility that because of the timeline shift, he might not have tried to assassinate you a bunch of times. So I would go and ask him if the timeline is the same. Because if in this one he didn't try to assassinate you, there might not be a big issue.
You make a very good point. We'll have to ask him about his recent assassination.
But if he did try to assassinate you, tell him you're going to tell your mom unless he does it first.
I'm telling Mom.
I'm telling Mom. Runs off. Jim, indeed, you guys, would you like to try to talk to either Strickler or Jim's mom solo, or what's the vibe as you guys?
Probably not right this minute in such a public place, but maybe a little bit later.
Cool. What I will say is this then, if you guys are here, go ahead, you may all go ahead and click that you are taking a long rest right now. Because then some of the roleplay stuff that I know we're going to do with Jim, Megamind, Puss in Boots, RJ, stuff you guys want to do, will be happening during the long rest. So you can go ahead, click that button, get all that back.
We haven't four mutations.
You know,
Especially without a car.
yeah.
Maybe they both.
Okay. Well,
Never mind. Continue.
oh, it's all good.
Give me half a second. Sorry.
So how do you feel about your new stepdad?
Better.
And soon you'll have little change in the steps.
We're not gonna talk about that.
I mean, that's
That's
a little bit hard. No, but if you still need me, I'm like,
Thank you.
now that you have proverbially have that squared away, now I want to ask you, who's the lady? Who's the spellcaster, huh?
Oh, Claire?
And you feel like who's just trying to get information out of you if you like the spell or not? Who's the spellcaster, huh? You know.
My girlfriend.
Oh.
I mean, I think she's still my girlfriend. I hope she's still my girlfriend.
I hope she's.
It's been a while.
Get the timeline thing.
I don't know. Her and Toby were pretty close.
I will let you know. I rolled for Toby and Claire. Nothing in their timelines changed whatsoever. And again, I only roll for like important NPCs and people. Really, out of all the like people you guys know so far, like nothing happened to Minion, Kitty, and Perito were already here. Like, Strickler was the only one that I had to change to, and I'm like, yikes, yeah, that would change it.
That's so funny. Okay. Well, I think after my conversation with Strickler, before I report back to the group and we make a plan, I want to just go check in with my mom and say, hey, I heard that Strickler proposed. Are you happy?
You walk over with saying this. You see, Claire's actually with your mom. She's helping do some medical stuff too. Being a sorcerer, trying some like magical healing, see if she has stuff like that. The second you start talking about propose, Claire gives you that look and kind of like both hands up and just steps away. Of like, if you want to talk to your mom alone on this, that's okay. Just kind of letting you have that. Your mom, as you approach, just.
They already got the honeymoon planned.
I know you said you wanted to take some time to think about this. Okay, if you're ready to talk. Jim, I completely understand your apprehension. Walter is... I believe he's a changed man. I know what has happened, but as he has said to me, he does regret his actions, and for the past many months, let alone visiting me and the others while we were imprisoned by that witch person, since then he has been a major help for Arcadia and for me. But
Oh, that's good.
if you have serious issue, I understand, and we can talk about it or call it off just so that you can take some time to figure out how you want to feel about this.
Thanks, Mom. Honestly, if you trust him and he's been honest with you, you know that he's not human.
You see, she looks around again. Strickler is yet to tell the community as a whole, because again, that would probably cause a panic.
Hush, hush.
But you see your mom goes, yes.
Okay. It sounds like he's been honest with you, and I just talked with him, and as much as I hate to admit it, I think you're right. What's most important to me is that you're safe and happy. And if he makes you those things, then I'm happy for you. You deserve someone who loves you, Mom.
Your mom, just sweetie, she takes you in both arms, kisses you on the forehead, and pulls you into a tight hug. She kind of like ruffles your hair and then kind of stops when she feels the horn. She, gotta get used to the horns. Those are new.
Yeah. Yeah.
As your mom gives you a hug, pulls away. Thank you, Jim. And I want you to be just as happy. And you kind of follow her eye. Claire and Toby are off in the corner, like, polishing weapons, right? And she kind of gives you that very motherly, like, nudge over to Claire.
I'm gonna chuckle a little bit, give her a hug. Love you, Mom. And then convene the people for a war meeting, including Claire and Toby.
Claire and Toby, Megamind, RJ, Jim, and Puss in Boots. You all meet up. Jim, it's actually in your old classroom. It's one of these classrooms that hasn't been purposed in, so you kind of bring everyone in. Desks in a big old circle. You guys, let's have a war meeting. How do we want to start this assault on Morgana Le Fay?
Bring in the chickens.
I don't think we have the need to transport 15,000 chickens across the continent.
First things first. We have the chickens commandeer a bunch of semi-trucks. Okay, we're starting a combine. Just rolling, trucking all the way down to USA.
Oh, I do want to put it aside to Puss and say I talked to them both. I think we're cool with it, but if you'll just keep an eye on them and, like, if you see anything shady, because I don't know that much about marriage, you know, maybe help more.
People, it's like, so, do as I say, not as I do. Communication, right? And, like, it's literally like, James, like, running away from his ceremony, wedding ceremony, because he was so scared and he didn't communicate. And it's like, honestly, all you can do from an outsider perspective is love them and hope they can work it out, you know, and have them talk to a licensed professional like me. You know?
Okay. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yep. And Jim, as he like kind of pulls you back, and he's like, "Good luck with the girlfriend situation, and also if Kitty Soft says anything to you about me being irresponsible, she's wrong."
Wait, who says what?
Kitty Soft. Basically, he's saying, like, when we meet up with, like, Kitty and Burrito, and she goes, like, you know, yeah, Poos ran away from our, you know, wedding ceremony. It's like, no, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Very much like, it's like, hey, it's cool that everyone else has flaws. I don't have commitment issues at all.
You see,
I'm quite stable.
Merlin has invited himself into this meeting. Just roll for Merlin. Just kind of walks in. He was just like, right. I don't think marriage plans will help us defeat Morgana. But what was that about chicken ideas? You say you have chickens. Are these like dire chickens or like
Chicken born?
Chicken born. Each leveled in some regard.
Don't give him ideas, guys.
Some sort of class.
You don't want.
And I actually put a bag over RJ's head and drag him away
Sorry,
before he gets
don't.
We started an entire civilization of chicken-born. They're their own people, and we're not manipulating them into anything.
You see, Merlin goes, yes, but you would probably need, by my calculations, 1 gum is equal to 20 chickens. Even chicken born. Again, gums are actually pretty tough.
You underestimate my chickens.
But if they're 20 spell-casting chickens,
You underestimate.
You underestimate my chickens.
all able to cast level 2 spells.
Merlin, do you know the gate spells?
You see, Merlin goes, no, I am a divinatory chronomantic wizard. Gate spells.
I grab him by the custom, like, what are you good for?
I'm good for wish magic, as his fingers crackle.
You know a wish spell.
Yes.
And a wish spell can be used to cast any other spell.
Ah, you know of magical wishes.
So, you use the wish spell to cast the gate spell to connect New York City to here. We can literally bring our entire army.
Yes.
Or they can send their entire army to our city.
That is true. A gate works both ways.
That's true, But, like, we open the gate somewhere secret.
You see Merlin goes, I could do this, but I will let you know, once I start using magic, Morgana will definitely be after me in some regards. She wants me dead.
You die. It's a sacrifice
So, like,
I need to make.
What that
You
means
casting lightning bolt?
in New York City.
Oh, no. I'm talking, like, in proximity. You know when you, like, hear someone walking upstairs and you know by their footsteps who they are? When you've done magic with someone for so long, you feel that affects the closer you are. If I'm within, I would say, a good mile or two and start using my magics, she's gonna feel it.
Hear me out.
Okay.
I have an idea that could potentially make everyone happy. That it's not as brash or rushed as what RJ wants, but he brings a good point. Apparently, Kitty said bring an army, and it sounds like Morgana has an army of gunpowder.
Yeah.
If we essentially, and then dropping the accent so we can kind of metagame / plan, if we have that gate spell, and we combine our forces with everyone at the high school and the city of Arcadia, could that give us time to go in and Morgana?
It could be that Puss in Boots, yes, dropping the accent of, if not for, like, because probably, if given, like, full-scale war effort, Gum-Gums versus humans and chickens, Gum-Gums might prevail, but that would definitely draw out her armies and give you a much better shot of, think of full Lord of the Rings, right? It's a diversion, right? We need the Chickenborn and the humans, Coach Lawrence, Steve, like all those guys. If they can just like help mount the assault outside, we don't need them to win, but we need them. They will actually be a helpmeet. Because again, Merlin can then, in theory, open up a doorway and bring everyone through.
So how does the gate spell work exactly?
I'll pull it up.
Because if we can make 3, if we can make one in Ireland, one in New York City, and one here, we could get our orc friends from the northern wastes to make their way to Ireland.
This doesn't need to happen right away.
It doesn't need to happen right
away. Time here.
Merlin, yes. Gate spell, because gates is actually something, it technically is meant for, like, planar transition of, like, opening play. So what Merlin would be doing is, like, he would be slowly, like, if Merlin teleports over to New York City, makes a gate to the plane of flowers, elemental plane, right, and brings all the chickens there, gets his spell slot back, and then makes another gate to bring them to Arcadia. It's not like, yeah, it's a prep thing where it's like he can't do it like immediately. Again, he would have about 1 a day, but given time, he could prep and get all the armies into one spot.
So here's my concern with our army plan, is that we're then taking, like, how much of our army are we taking from New York City? Because if we leave them completely defenseless and emptied out, that leaves them completely vulnerable to all attack. And I don't want that for our chickens. We've sunk a lot of work, time, effort, and money and love into that city. And I would love to not just obliterate 15,000 rescue chickens.
Well, yeah, so it's like, so figuring out how many of an army you want, right? No, that's a fair point.
Yeah, that's my one concern with that.
Ask your friends their guesstimation on numbers.
Yeah.
Like, they've been living here. Like, what are the numbers like?
I can give you that for free, because again, Jim, you now have a more, we'll call it a working relationship with Strickler. That's a good way to put it. It's, you can get from Strickler, there are about 3,000 Arcadian residents here in this high school compound, whatever we want to call this. Out of those 3,000 residents, Strickler would say you have a safe 500, like, people that could definitely be fighters. If we want to train up for a couple days, that number could increase to about 1,500, maybe about half. there's still about way too many, unfortunately, people are way too elderly or young, or who are like here taking care or sick or mentally ill and physically ill that couldn't help. So like on call maybe 500 if given a bit of time and prep of like, hey, here's the plan, maybe 1,500.
Okay.
If we make the last 1,000 all magicians and have them just range spell attacks, all radiant damage.
Oh, or make them all clerics, and they all just guiding bolt. You know.
I was gonna say clerics of the same god. Yeah.
It's true. I could teach mass groups of people the guiding bolt spell.
Here's actually, and Jim, here's where I will bring something to you, because you are technically a paladin of the Amulet of Merlin. Like, your oath is for the glory of Merlin. It's an odd way of saying it. You're technically Merlin's paladin. Through that, like, kind of genealogical tree chart of, like, well, I am to the amulet's to the trolls, and the troll. So, in terms then of, if you want to try to bring in a bunch of chicken clerics, paladins, wizards, who have access to Guiding Bolt and Sacred Flame, right? A army of spellcasters. You would, in theory, need a god. Or someone of power. Here's what I will say. It's in no way to alarm you. You would be giving Merlin a huge boost in terms of 1,000+ followers.
Do it. What could go wrong?
I already trained my paladin chickens to be paladins of Merlin. Just as like a middle finger to Morgana.
Oh, but this is, we're talking in terms of, because like Megamind's saying, all of these people, plus whatever chicks, if these are all of Merlin, right, a army of Merlin.
It's a church of Merlin at that point.
Are we willing to do that? I don't know if I want to do that.
I didn't say it to like cause apprehension. It's just like, that's a very much, you guys would understand of like, if that's the plan, Merlin would get a huge buff, because again, you have just given him 1,000+ followers. That's crazy.
What about Sandman?
Or Death, you know I'm here.
Death?
Or
yeah.
Not Death. Because we were already apprehensive about him and the Merlin. What about either Sandman or... Shoot, I literally just had another person in my mind.
We just have 15,000 Chickenborn walk into battle going, Mr. Sandman, bring me a drink.
There was another person who I thought would have been also a great idea, and they just disappeared from my brain.
Was it another NPC or like a...
Are you thinking Moses?
Oh, don't. Moses isn't ready for that.
Shira? I'm not trying to metagame.
Shira might be difficult because you guys don't really have access or that into it. Like, Merlin, Death, Sandman are all stuff that, like, you guys as a group know.
Our angel friend.
Gabriel.
Gabriel. If we all have them be paladins of Gabriel, or like...
Clerics would be better if we're going for the
clerics of Gabriel.
Because then they
either
have
or.
healing.
But like clerics of Gabriel, that'll give him a major power boost.
Or
because he's good.
Yeah.
Like he's a good guy.
Clerics of me.
So
we're not doing our job. We're all agreeing, you know, like everybody else. Like, yeah. So not.
You see,
not
Merlin's like, now hold on, let's hear the raccoon out. You're telling me we could make a raccoon god?
I'm a chicken.
Right, the chicken god. No, yeah, I think so.
RJ is the chicken god.
He is.
No,
yeah.
Our original plan for the union was to make it a cult.
That's true. Yeah, it was.
No, guys, I have an idea. So it's of Gabriel, right? But it's just they become part of the Union, and they get their powers from unity. From being united.
Wait,
so the idea of the Union is what they worship.
I will let you know.
We are all united.
That would be tougher, but doable. The idea of creating a god, of the idea of our power comes from our unity. It is an actual entity of the Union, of
Like,
our...
we are stronger together.
We are stronger together. That would be... Again, it's tougher than saying Merlin, Gabriel, Sandman, because those are like physical entities with actual power levels. But it's not impossible. And again, I will say, because I've let you know, the work you did with the Frozen Blood way back, like session, 2, 3, like, has started spreading to other adventuring parties. This is a real thing. Here's what I will say. You guys are trying to make your own form of godly worship in the form of the Union.
The Union makes us strong.
Divided we stand, united we topple.
You are the friends we made
So
along
divided we fall, united we stand.
I love it. Here's what I would say. That's a solid plan of, we are training up the people here, Chickenborn, whatever our amalgamated army is, to a bunch of clerics of the Union. Their powers of healing and their strength comes from each other. Here's what I'm gonna say. I think this is actually really clever. I think that's a clever idea, because it's that way you're not giving any power to any one specific entity, because that would be that, whether it's Merlin, Gabriel, Sandman, Death, that's a lot of followers. It's the idea of you are starting the religion, a cult of the Union. Here's what we would do to accomplish this. It would take a couple days. You will need to do 3 things. You have to make sure the word is out. Because you can say, again, Merlin, with his powers to have the gate spell by using Wish and all of that, he will start working on getting the Chickenborn from New York to here, right? Put all our armies in one spot. Because then, again, on the day of, he can open a gate from Arcadia to Morgana's place, wherever you need it, and, like, just have them amass.
We assemble here, throw it at Morgana.
So, quick thing. Let's talk just quick percentage. Do you want half of the Chickenborn? Would you rather have a third or 2?
Do we have?
Okay. New York City has 15,000 Chickenborn. I will let you know right now, 3,000 Chickenborn won't come, not because they don't want to, because they are now, like, in those positions of, they're construction workers, civil servants, firefighters. Like, they now have, like, actual real jobs of, like, we gotta sustain this city. So that gives you about 12,000 max. But again, of those 12,000, how many do you want to stay, as Jim Lake Jr. says, to not then provoke, we're leaving for a couple days, New York City's so undefended.
Right, I mean, I'd imagine they wouldn't have a standing army larger than 5,000, because that's a third of their population.
That's what I was thinking, is 5,000 is the max.
Yeah, so if we take, like, 3,500 Chickenborn, that leaves them with a small standing army.
Yeah.
As well as civilians who have been trained somewhat in the art of defense, so they're not totally defenseless and open to attack. And that gives us 3,500 Chickenborn.
And I have Minion over there making tech for them to defend themselves with.
Exactly, yeah. Minion has been like that technological revolution of, like, let's talk security systems, laser grids, let's talk about early defense alarms. Yeah, Minion's been a huge help there. Yeah.
About that, I know that in the show, this is a little metagaming, but I know in the show, we were able to use UV lights to start to slowly turn Angora to stone. Mm-hmm. Would it be helpful to fashion some kind of a UV headlamp for the chickens? Like, would that deter?
You know what I would do?
Is that all, even if it's just mentally?
Or big UV light, like,
yeah, like
industrial UV lights.
I would flavor it. How we would flavor it to work is, if you're bringing over these Chickenborn and these people, we would flavor the cantrip of Sacred Flame, like a cleric cantrip, as UV headlamps. Because that is... Okay, let's be real. Sacred Flame is a giant UV strobe light that you go click, bum, 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 and yeah, right? Like, let's be real. This is solid game. Here's then what you need to accomplish. There will be a little bit of rolls, because it's not just truly able to work. There's some effort here. We need some powerful stuff. Merlin's getting everyone here. We need 3 things. First, you need strong communication. That means you need union reps. You need to like make sure subdivide be like.
You need to set up a clergy.
You need to set up a clergy. Well, yeah, it's that like we're basically making the Church of the Union, right? It's that like we need to make sure there is a strong way of like communication in not only army form but religion form. So you need that, and we'll get to what roles will be associated because again, you guys can then choose what you want to give your like. I'll use my ability for blah blah blah. The second,
we could probably. Oh, sorry.
No,
I was gonna throw out an idea. I was gonna say we could probably just use a bunch of the chicken, like the 80. Was it 80? 80 chickens that we had, like trained up extra levels. Like they have already like trained under us and have been with us and kind of like know how to strategize and like battle and such. So
You're
there's
union representatives.
they're
What
the
branch are you? Who's in
they could be the higher ups. You know?
they would be their local union reps to the Chickenborns. Yeah, that's solid, Megamind. That's a solid plan. Because the second thing you need is you need supplies or funds. Now, I say that in terms of, because this is D&D, it's the idea of, okay, we got to make sure we have pamphlets, we got to have spell components, we got to have items for people. And that can take a lot of forms. And again, it's start thinking of like, ooh, do I want to use my, I'm going to lead a party for a sleight of hand to go find the supplies, blah, blah, blah. Start thinking of that. So representatives, you need like a hierarchy. We need supplies. And the last thing you need is belief, right? There is that core belief of you have to inspire and give the true like foundation of all these 35,000 Chickenborn and 15,000 humans all have that faith system of I have faith in the Union, that I have enough faith that when I cast a guiding bolt, my power comes from the friends around me. So with those in
The
mind,
real gospels, the friends we made along the way.
this is what I will allow. Everyone can offer something. And you can offer, but you can only do one thing. Because, for example, if Puss in Boots, let's say you want to be on supply runs, you can't then say, ooh, but can I be giving a help action for Jim Lake Jr. because they're trying to help set up organization. So you can only do one action over this time. But, of course, Megamind, you do have stuff like Bardic Inspirations, which I'll allow, and RJ... Well, and RJ, you have like guidance, which I'll allow like a passive guidance of like a passive bardic and guidance for most of what we're trying to do here. But again, you can each do one thing. So in theory, as a party, 3 of you can spearhead one thing, and someone can stay behind to offer a help action, because these are high DC things. It's a lot to. You're creating a religion / cult / organization.
Yes.
Okay.
So
I have a +7 to persuasion. How's that for you, Megamind? I
also have a +7 to persuasion, but I have a +10 for performance.
Ooh.
So if we need something, so I was thinking I could either be along the lines of getting the word out or convincing people that power comes from, because I feel like if I tag along with Merlin as he goes on these trips to like gather people in like Europe and then in the chicken area, I could kind of work my
It'll be a lot more convincing than Merlin.
Yes.
It's
So definitely either getting the word out or doing a performance to be like, this is something that you can do too.
Right, like, what we've done with this already. It already has power. We've already established it. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
it sounds
So,
like
I
Megamind.
think I can
Yes.
in this way.
Yes, RJ and then Puss. Yes.
It's not necessarily the lawful goodest thing to do, but I am not lawful good.
I believe it.
Mhm.
I have dominate beast.
Interesting.
If there is any resistance, I would like to make sure the leaders of that resistance don't resist very well. As in, they agree with us completely.
Oof.
It's the like opposite of a union buster, like an anti, like you're gonna join.
I mean, in a sense, I like whether the party knows it or not. If there is any resistance, I will help make sure that resistance somehow gets smoothed over really easily.
Honestly, I like it. It's that RJ, you're taking that like out of these three things happening, you're then like if things start failing, you are ready to stop it, which is solid. Again, I honestly that is smart. I like it. So
Morally ambiguous.
Morally ambiguous. Megamind will be dealing with the faith aspect, the belief aspect. RJ's taking that like I don't want to say like underline, but again, the morally ambiguous underneath. If one of these three isn't working, RJ, you might be able to make a check to help 160 again. Smart. Puss in Boots and Jim. What are your thoughts in areas you would like to spearhead or take the control for?
I can also do the Bardic Inspiration, and we also have the Guidance. So the Bardic Inspiration, if Jim wanted, because I feel like if getting the word out is a thing, I might be better at using a performance to like, hey, this is who we are, this is what we're doing. And then a persuasion check would be like a, hey, like, we already know what we're doing, but like, this is what you can do with it, kind of a thing. Which, if I stack a Bardic Inspiration with like a possible +8 on top of that, that gives you a higher roll for that too.
Well, I think I would allow Megamind. Performance would work just as well as persuasion here. Those two are the stats that would be needed, one or the other. They're both pretty congruent in terms of it's a persuasive performance, right? So, I think
Televangelist.
Right, televangelist. Get on the script again. Yeah, Megamind sending out your little droids, like giving little video cameras of you. So the last two things are again, we need someone to make sure things are organized, someone to make sure things are supplied. Do either for Puss in Boots or Jim Lake Jr. one or the other that you want to take and use one of your better stats, like, hey, could I use this stat of mine to try to accomplish this?
So, essentially, I got a +8 in stealth. And all that's going through my mind is carrying the banner from Newsies and Solidarity Forever. And I want to see if I can stealth through Arcadia and find the print shops to get our flyers out. Essentially doing the supply runs via my stealth. What do you think, Jim?
And also Puss in
through the
Boots,
entire city.
because it's through the entire city. Any human being that's not yet at Arcadia, avoiding the gum-gums. So, Puss in Boots, with your stealth taking control of, you'll get the supplies. Which then, Jim, it would be a form of persuasion check to say you are persuading to make the groups it could be. It's that, like, you would go, yes, the AD Chickenborn, your heads of state, so to speak. Or, like, hey, you're going to be your chapter masters, you're going to be your local reps. And of course, Jim, to the humans as well. You know the people of Arcadia. You can find people like, hey, does Coach Lawrence want to be the Arcadia chapter head? Like, Coach Lawrence sounds like a great union man. Right? Like,
Yeah. I can put Steve and Eli in charge of stuff, because they've helped.
yeah. Here's what we'll do then, gang. Yes.
Real quick, like, it doesn't need to happen right now. But I would like to twist, at least at some point, I'd like to start to twist this belief in the unity and to maybe form my own little sects or cults.
A little break off.
Not necessarily a break off, but maybe like a fold within.
You're going to end up becoming one of the big fads, and we're going to have to shoot in the face.
No, I would like to, like, induct people into.
I will have no remorse in putting my +2 rapier inside of your chest fraction. Yes, I will use refraction.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Through.
This is where we would hard cut to a year later, this time next year, of this emotional battle between RJ with his cult trying to take over. Why did you betray us, RJ? Like, anyway, I will, here's what we'll say. I will now say, now that we have our jobs, again, Jim, Puss and Megamind, you have the 3 heads with RJ giving that big check to like, and if anything needs to like be quelled, if we're not succeeding, you are bolstering it, like full help action basically through making sure they know. Here's what we're gonna do. The 3
Bardic Inspirations.
and
How many can I do?
I will say, Megamind, you can give a Bardic Inspiration. I'm allowing it to yourself, Jim, RJ, and Puss in Boots. You can give everyone a Bardic in theory. So, because again, in theory, this is over the next 3 to 4 days, right? This isn't like over the next half hour. Here's what it's going to be. To organize is a DC 23 check. To get the supplies is a DC 26 check. To get the belief is a DC 30. That's the big one. It really is. We're going to do this one at a time, because that way we know, because RJ, whichever one you want to give to, like, once we get to it, right? We're going to start first with...
Guidance? What can I do there?
Guidance is something I'm allowing passively for everyone again as well, because
So
it's like
gets guidance and a bardic. Cool.
everyone's got a guidance bardic. So we're going to start with Jim Lake Jr. Please roll me first a guidance and a bardic, so we know what you're adding to your +7 for your persuasion.
So what is the bardic die?
D8.
D8, yeah.
D8 or D4.
Awesome, thank you.
And this is, I'm turning on my Box of Doom music because this is...
That's a 12.
All right. 23, 12 plus 7. You have a 19 to this, Jim. You just don't want to roll a 4, or excuse me, a 4 or lower. You need a 4 or higher to succeed in your organization check, Jim Lake Jr.
All right, I'll roll a d20.
Here we go.
Oh my god.
No.
That's a nat 1.
Lucky.
Lucky. Yep. Megamind, you only have 3, because even though it's over days, it's not like, that's how it's being used.
Yeah.
So here's lucky. Jim, re-roll.
Oh, that's way better. That's an 11.
11 plus 19 for 30. Jim,
Nice.
the chapters are organized, representatives are made, everyone knows who their union rep is, who the captain of those individual reps, into your 80 chicken board, into you guys. You have it locked down. Puss in Boots. It's a DC 26. Go ahead and first roll me your D4 and D8 to know what you add to your +7 stealth.
Give it,
What?
It's
give it
loading.
a minute.
This stressful moment of dice loading is brought to you by the Box of Doom. Whether here or online, you always got to have your important rolls in a special little place. Shout out to Dimension 20. What a basically. So that's only 4. So Puss in Boots, you have +11 to this. Meaning you need a 15 or higher on the dice.
Wait, 11. No. I did the stuff.
What's your normal stealth?
My normal stealth is +8.
+8, excuse me. So you have a +12 to this. So 14 or higher will get you. Here we go. Here's the D20 roll.
Oh,
Stressful roll.
Forever. No, solidarity forever.
And as it finishes loading, it is...
It's a better man.
It's a 4. We have another lucky. And again, and RJ's in the wings. RJ's the Hail Mary. If even after a lucky, we could use RJ's big, like, busted out, like, help out. Here we go. Another lucky. So, Megamind, you have 1 lucky left. Here we go. Puss in Boots, you need a 14 or higher.
Come on.
Can I roll with real dice?
It's still loading.
No, I want to roll with real dice. I can't take this anymore.
Kind of. That's a 12.
Stamina point.
So
What is that?
12 plus 12, 24. We're 2 away, unfortunately.
Stamina point.
Stamina point won't get it, because stamina's for attacks, not for ability checks.
Can I cast silvery barbs on you?
Silvery barbs. Unfortunately, silvery barbs you can't cast on something to give it right back to something. That is part of the spell.
Should I
Here's
use
what-
the next lucky?
You could use the next lucky, and then Megamind, it's whatever you roll, or you could use RJ's big check help action.
I
Dice, by the way.
don't
Yeah,
want to use
hold on,
it long because we have to make a DC 30 after that.
The last one is a DC 30.
Started this whole thing is that we can actually our chickens are in a port town. They have trade coming in. We could have them help bring spells and foods with them.
Oh yeah, no, I'm allowing that.
To the plus food.
It's more of just, when I say supplies too, it's making sure everyone has the right supplies, the right pamphlets, the right spell.
Organization.
It's the organization of supplies is maybe a better way to put it. Here's what I will allow. Megamind, you could use your last lucky here. I think, yep, here we go. Puss in Boots, I'll allow an in-dice roll for this one. Here we go. Is Ian home yet? Use him as, like, your example. Yeah, here we go. Is that a 5?
What did you roll?
That's a 5. I think that's...
So bad.
Or it was a 5 or a 2.
Fine.
RJ?
RJ.
Okay, I'm gonna step in.
So, RJ, here's all you need to do. With what you've got going on, RJ, with your abilities, your D4 and D8, really, right now, it sounds like you just need to beat a stealth check of 20, to give the, like, it's your +7, a D4 and D8, to get a DC 20 to make sure Puss in Boots succeeds. But once that is done, then that's how your things of, like, hey, there's some people that are trying to, like, mess up the supplies, that don't want to do this. They're, like, hiding supplies and equipment and making a big nuisance of themselves.
So does a 33 help?
33, yes. Puss in Boots with RJ quelling in the wings. We have now our big... We have the organization, we have supplies. Here comes the faith. Megamind,
Animals are just
Sorry.
you have a +10 to
Sorry,
this.
you-
Megamind, please roll me a D4 and a D8.
Is this... Hold on, I'm trying to get it so that we can see.
Yeah, I think we can all see now. Perfect.
Oh, no, you're okay. We got that.
That's an 8.
That's an 8.
That's good.
That's really good.
That's
That's
a
a
1.
1.
So, Megamind, you have a +19 to this. Meaning we need an 11 or higher for the faith.
We can do this.
That's a 12!
Yeah!
Here we go.
Oh!
Megamind. I would like, as Jim Lake Jr., you set up the reps, the chapters, and the captains. As Puss in Boots, you get the supplies out, and unbeknownst to you, people were trying to disrupt the supply chain, and RJ, you, under the cover of night...
People are very dead.
People are very
They
dead.
are dead.
Oh, they are very dead. RJ helps sweep that under the rug. Megamind, I would like to ask you, how do you provide the belief for everyone, for the God of the Union?
So, I basically just literally want to go full, like, object lesson, like, the spaghetti noodles of, like, the twigs, and then just, like, the going around and like teach the people in like small groups, and then like gather more people, and then like show bigger examples, and then like another thing, and then I'm using like full-on cars, using a giant robot, just like the robot is unfightable. You can't use it to fight things, but like I built one just for this demonstration. All it does is bend its arms and like break things that's put between them, but it can't break big like a lot of things. And then just like using examples and then like showing off powerful magic and like yeah, and then like using big kind of shows with the robots and like you are stronger together, basically. Like it's a fact. Like you get somebody who's bullying you, and if you're taking it by yourself, you only have so much strength in you, but the second you get another person, they become intimidated. The next time you get another person, they become more intimidated. Then you get a big group, and they're like, oh crap, I can't mess with this person because they got all that backing, and I'm just by myself now.
As Megamind, what song do you think is playing? I've been playing Feed the Machine subtly in the background here, but what's the theme of the Union here? What are these people feeling in their hearts and hearing in their ears?
I hate that I'm saying this song, but you know that one from High School Musical?
Oh my god.
We're all in this together. As...
I genuinely don't like that song, but it's the only one that I feel fits in this moment until I find a better one. I'm probably going to update it, like, as Megamind is like, you know, this is the only song I could think of at the moment, so this is what we're going to go with right now, but then we're going to update it to something cooler when it happens.
You know, 15 sessions ago, as a joke, you all said, we're in the Union. We got the Union. But as whistles and a school bell alarm sound with Megamind's music in the background, 5,000 men, women, children, and chickens all begin to glow with celestial light as they have power now in the Union. And they are ready to take back their city, take back their lives, gain greater strength with the people around them, for the people around them. We are all in this together. And as your army of Union clerics are...
I did have a question about, like, were we able to get people, like, the orcs over? Or if I was able to, like, send out a message to Roxanne Ritchie about, like, this evil force on the other side of the town and anybody willing to, like, come through and kind of help out, like, me offering to, like, safe haven and, like, partnership with the Chicken City.
Roxanne Ritchie may have gotten this, not a lot there. A couple chapters of the Frozen Blood would show up. Unfortunately, the guys you met, like Havoc, the leaders, apparently they're involved in something right now. But yeah, Union Strong. They sent some people over. They sent reps. You guys bring in from England, Ireland, New York City, off in the Frozen Wastes, back into the Dark Forest. An army truly strong in the Union. As that's where we're going to end tonight's session, with the Union being created, ready to march on Morgana's fortress. Thank you all so very much for playing. Thank you for listening, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Yeehaw.